Old soul, young world.
But when it's of true positive nature and manifestation,
Old souls, young souls, and all my damn souls in between.
search deeper, dive deeper, and be like, yo,
Old soul, young world.
Old souls, young souls, and all my damn souls in between. Welcome back to Old Soul, Young World with your host, Jessie Ellie. Ooh, that was clean this time. All right. Guys, we have a very special guest on the show this week. We have somebody who's an entrepreneur who's built themselves from the ground up, somebody who owns a gym in Lynn, Massachusetts that has gone from multiple business establishments over just a few years and is at the very peak of their success with so much more to come. Welcome to the show, Jonathan from JAS Nutri-Fit. What's poppin'?
Thank you. Chilling.
Hey, we're so happy to have you. And you know, Jonathan, I gave the little spiel, but I'll kind of let you tell people where you're from,
Yep.
you know, how you started, you know, what location, and kind of where you're at now, how you started this.
All right. So first, I'm Dominican. I'm from Dominican
Hey,
Republic.
let's go represent. Born and raised?
Born and I came here when I was 11
Okay.
to Lynn, Mass.
It's amazing.
I've been in Lynn, Mass since.
Mhm.
So I started business about eight and a half years ago, about 9. I'm close to 9 years ago.
Wow.
I used to work at the YMCA prior to that
Mhm.
as a personal trainer, as a fitness director. And, you know, I saw my potential. I thought I could do more for the community, for myself.
Mhm.
I have a lot of goals to achieve. I'm still digging, right? So I open
Always,
it
right?
always. So yeah, I've been doing it for 9 years.
That's amazing. And especially coming here, you know, I think it's a huge thing when you say you came here at 11 years old and being a first generation and starting your own business and being an entrepreneur is something that a lot of people, like, I feel like they see that as the American dream, quote unquote.
Right.
But it's really hard to reach that point where you're actually successful enough to do that. And it takes a lot of inner motivation and inner persistence.
Discipline too.
Discipline. That's a key word, especially in the fitness realm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I do know, you know, you said you were a trainer at the YMCA. And I believe when we talked, there was a passion that you had before getting into fitness,
Bring it
before
up.
you were a personal trainer.
So I love baseball. I played high school, middle school, elementary.
Okay.
I went on to college and played all 4 years. It's a dream, so it didn't happen. I got hurt, my shoulder wasn't good enough. So then I told myself, what do I do now? You know, not to disrespect anyone, I didn't want to sit in the office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a corporate person like that.
Right.
I've always been good with people and helping people in a lot of aspects. So I love to train. I mean, when you're in baseball, when you're not in the field, you're training.
Right.
So I found myself falling in love with that.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I was in college on my breaks, I would come down to Lynn because I went out of state.
Okay.
I would come to Lynn and work as a floor staff, picking up the weights, things like that. And I would look at the trainers and I would be like, man, I could do that or be better.
Right.
You know, so eventually I did get my college degree.
Mm-hmm.
The whole dream didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, was your injury during college?
Yes.
And was that from just like something within yourself, or did you physically like?
Physically, I was in Florida. I dove head first, and my shoulder popped out of place.
Wow.
And my labrum torn. So my shoulder kept popping out of place.
Yeah.
Once you fix that, you can't throw the ball. I mean, you could throw it, but it's never like a pro arm or nothing like that. So I did play through it for 2 more years, just pushing.
Yeah.
But it's that moment where you realize, all right, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, like how long could you push it?
How long could I do that?
Right.
And I did get a contract to play like independent pro baseball.
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
But at the moment, it was just not in me.
Yeah.
Because I thought about if I do this, which probably getting paid $200 a week back then, and can I push through this injury?
Mhm.
And I got a bunch of other goals to do. I mean, my mom is supporting me. My parents were helping me through college. It's almost like now I'm a man. Now I need to step up.
Yeah, the pressure hits, and you're like,
It's
all
the
right,
pressure,
gotta
and
bring
just the
something.
dream wasn't there anymore.
For sure.
You know, so it died, but I knew I wasn't gonna go further than that.
Mm.
So I found myself training people. I got certified. I did everything I needed to do. And the Y hired me because I grew up with the YMCA.
Mhm.
So next thing you know, my mentor, hopefully this is gonna go live. He gets fired and they give me the director's job.
Oh, snap. Well, that means you were doing a real great
I was
job,
doing
though.
good. I was bringing numbers,
Yeah.
and I knew the community,
Yeah.
which is different.
Mhm.
You understand that?
Of course.
So I did like 2 years there, busted my ass. It killed all budgets. They're great with the people. My name blew up. And then I was like, all right, it's time for me to do something for myself.
Mhm.
Because I reached the pinnacle of that place
Right.
too quick. I was 23.
Wow.
So then it's like, where else could I go? You know, I already reached the peak. You know, you're floor staff, then you're a group back instructor, then you are trainer,
Mhm.
then you're awareness director, then you're full department director.
Mhm.
So I'm like, all right, I reached what I wanted
Reach
to.
your ceiling already.
I don't want to retire here.
Yeah.
So people will buy supplements from me.
Okay.
I've always carried myself in good shape. So obviously they're like, what can I do to improve my physique and whatnot to get in shape to be healthier? So this started like as a supplement store.
Okay, so
Protein, like a
JAS
GNC.
Nutri-Fit in general, the
Yes.
whole name was a supplement store.
Yes.
Okay.
So then my mentor, Francis from Latino Association,
Yeah.
told me,
Shout out the Latino Business Association.
shout out because she's been there, they've been there for me.
They're a great
since day one.
business. Yeah.
I told her, you know, I'm driving everywhere, Lynn, Salem, Danvers, Peabody, training people, and I'm doing the YMCA full time as well,
Yeah.
and I got the supplement store. How can I, I need a bigger place to just expand because I can't be driving all day. It will be like 4 hours driving.
Yeah.
On top of my job, this and that.
It's a waste of time at this,
And money.
time is money.
Exactly.
Right.
So I went part-time at the Y
Mhm.
because I had so many side clients already. And this sounds easy, but it took time.
I was gonna say, you're saying it like it's so simple, but when you really think
Yeah.
about it, you're literally balancing like 4 or 5 different
Exactly.
things in your life.
To the point that my employee in my supplement store, I was paying him with my check from the Y.
Yes, investment.
Exactly.
Yes.
I didn't see $1 for 2 years. Nothing.
Can you repeat that?
I didn't see $1 for 2 years.
Because that's the reality of being an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur. You invest so much before you see the return.
Exactly.
Yeah, people don't see that behind the scenes.
No. So my mentor told me, just split your store. You have enough space.
Mm.
She said that, but we're talking about a space of this.
Okay.
About 1,000 square footage.
Yeah.
So we split it up because I wasn't
Hey, don't
selling.
give away how small the space is.
It was back
Just
then,
kidding.
So we had half of a supplement store,
Uh-huh.
half of a tiny training studio.
Okay.
Like 3 machines. But I was making magic in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that blew up. That little ass spot just blew up. Then I move on within 3 years to a second location,
Mhm.
bigger, better, more equipped, full turf, beautiful, right from the city hall, see-through windows, everything.
Wow.
I signed a 5-year lease, and COVID hit.
Of course. It had the best timing for everything.
Yes, COVID hits. I mean, I'm killing it there.
Yeah.
COVID hits, and we got to go virtual, FaceTime sessions. Surprisingly, everyone was getting paid on COVID. So then once we were allowed to hit the parks,
Yeah.
I was in every park training people.
Wow.
And it just went crazy because people had money.
Right.
And I was doing a good job.
Yeah. Well, and can I just say too, like I think a big part about like COVID and I really like to promote and talk about mental health, but during that time, people felt so trapped that having a service like yours offering outside places to work out or do something where you're still kind of communicating face to face, even if you're distance, like that really shot up because people still wanted that communication. And just to jump on that, like I go to Title Boxing and during that time when they switched to virtual classes, I tried it and it just wasn't the same feeling for me, and like I fell off and it was upset, like for
Some
my
people
mental
fell
and
off.
physical. Yeah.
Half of the people fell off. It was like, we're not doing that. It's not the same,
Yeah.
But then I recruited new people, a bunch of new people. So then once we hit the parts, then it blew up.
Right.
Because everyone wanted to get out. So that was a hard time. We used to work from 7 a.m. sunrise all the way to like 10 p.m. Every day. And sneakily go in my gym and bring people.
Yes.
Turn the lights up, let's go.
You got to do whatever you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, it wasn't legal, but whatever.
Yeah, it's resourceful though.
Exactly. So to keep going, I signed a 5-year lease in that place. Within a year and a half, I was like, all right, I think I can make the next step. This is me just jumping.
And this is a year and a half from your very first gym?
No.
Or your second gym?
The very first gym was three years.
Okay.
The second, I signed 5 years, and a year and a half, I left.
Into the 5-year lease?
In the middle of COVID.
Wow. Okay.
So I was like, you know what, I'm doing it. Because I was doing so good.
Yeah.
So then we hit this way bigger spot, still in Lynn, better location, private parking, beautiful building. But then things happened. I worked there, me and my team, too. There's a bunch of people behind me. It's not just me, by no means.
Yeah. Takes a village.
For like 2 years, a year and a half, illegally, almost, because we didn't have a sprinkler system.
Oh, okay.
And the building is a little old, so they needed to require that because of the change of business. That was like a manufacturer, then it's a gym. Codes change it. So I fought with the city back and forth for a while. They kind of let me ride it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was a good person, doing something good. But it was hard because it's like you're going to work every day, not knowing if you're going to get a fine and then I just signed a messed up lease.
Yeah.
For being ignorant, not having a lawyer at the moment, this and that. But you live and learn, So now I'm with a lawyer everywhere I go.
Yeah.
So that happened, and we fought through it. One time I got a ticket. They shut down the business. At this point, I'm literally right at the top of my career in the business, and I can't use my own gym. Imagine that.
That is such an obstacle in your way.
Insane. Like, when I thought COVID was it, like, if I make it through COVID, I can make it through everything. This happens.
Oh my gosh.
So
I feel like sorry to cut you off, but when you want something the most, you're really tested. Like the hardest, like things will keep coming in your way over and over to try to see how bad do you really want this? Do you want it so bad that you'll jump over all of these obstacles just to continue doing what you were gonna do?
It was insane.
Yeah.
Like going every day, not knowing are they gonna shut me down, this and that. So they shut it down. I rented Sailor Fitness at the moment. I rented a space in my building. They had a gym. I asked for permission, and we just kept rolling.
Yeah. We
had a lawyer, and I fought for that sprinkler system for a year and a half. The landlord at the moment finally was like, all right, let's put it for you guys. Then everything kind of like came down.
Yes.
So then now I'm thinking I'm balling. I'm good. I don't have a problem. We're working safe legally.
It's right good. When you think you don't have a problem.
And then like a few months after, the landlord's like, oh, I'm selling the building. I'm like,
what? That's so unexpected.
After signing another 3-year lease. I signed it 3 years. 2 years were kind of illegal.
Yeah.
Then the whole year was beautiful.
Right.
We signed another 3 years. Half of that first year, oh, I'm selling the building. And we don't even find out from her. We find out from a phone call from somebody else.
That's crazy.
And we're like, whoa, bro. So like, I do have a personal board of my goals.
Yeah.
And one of those goals was to buy a building.
Wow.
For JAS Nutri-Fit.
And when you say a personal board of your own, sorry to
Mhm.
interject again, but like, is this a goal board? Like
Like
something
like
that
a
you can
yearly,
track?
yeah, yearly thing.
Wow, that's
Yearly
very.
in 5 years.
And you've seen success off keeping that?
Everything that I put there has happened.
Let's go.
I
Like
mean,
a
it might
vision-
take
a vision
time,
board.
but
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So one of the goals was I want to buy my own building.
Mm.
I don't want to have a landlord. I mean, I'm paying somebody else money when I could pay it for myself.
Right.
So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to qualify for a $1.5 million building. And it just happened.
Let's go. He says it just happened. Like it's easy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But for real, on the business aspect side, what process did you go through to qualify? Like, did you?
I had a lot of money saved, which thank God I had at the moment. I had a condo that I love and I had to sell it. That condo gave me like a good 6 figures.
I knew there was something behind
Yeah.
it. Like he put something down. Like you
Right,
gotta give
you have
something
to.
up.
You gotta give it up.
You gotta
give it all out.
sacrifice.
All out.
Yeah.
I blew all my savings. They're gone.
Y'all heard? I'm sorry. People listening in, I just want to make sure. I'm sorry to
No,
cut you
you're
off,
good.
Ken. But I need y'all to hear what he's saying right now. He literally sold a condo, put all his savings into his purpose, into something that he believed in, that nobody else could have that vision but Jonathan. And if you didn't keep going, then you wouldn't even be here today.
So many people told me, don't do it, you know,
Exactly.
for years. And, but I did it. And even then, when I saw the condo and I put out my savings, we weren't sure if I was going to qualify. It was like more risk taking.
Wow.
Like, is he still going to be good? I literally hit their budget. Like, I was right on.
That is crazy.
So you have to get rid of what you have and get out of that comfort zone in order to get that bigger picture.
Yes.
You know, so I've been like on a hard process, then I'm good, then I'm always jumping on that. I've done it for like 4 times.
Wow.
So blowing up your savings is not smart, but I'm not in a club blowing it up.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for myself, from a self-investment of a vision that I do have, of a business that I think will still grow.
Yes.
So-
100%. And I just want to say congratulations, Jonathan.
Thank you.
It is such a huge jump for you to be able to get through all those obstacles over, that's like less than 10 years, you know?
Right.
And you really hitting these points where anybody else, other people would have stopped, would have given up, and you had a vision to keep going. And I'm just wondering, like, I from everything you said, I have so many questions, but
Mhm.
what do you feel like, what is it with this vision, with this business? Like, how do you actually keep going? How do you keep yourself in your mind motivated and confident and not doubt yourself when other people are telling you, no, Jonathan, it's a bad investment, give it up, don't do it, you're not going to make money? Like, were you able to have that conversation with yourself and be like, nah?
I've never been a quitter. Like if I put something on my mind, I'm gonna go through it regardless. I mean, I might have a good end to it or not, but like I've done things where it's not good.
Yeah.
You fucked it up, right?
Right.
Excuse my language.
No, you can swear, it's fine.
But I mean, if I believe in that, and from day one, when my supplement store, no one was going, people were going like, shut this down, kid. I'm 24 with a
It's
business.
like ghost town in
Shut
here.
this down. And a lot of businesses around me was shutting down.
Yeah.
And then on COVID, seeing every gym shut down, going to bankruptcy, this and that, you kind of second guess, like, shit, am I in the right field anymore? Like,
Yeah.
I'm so unaware of what could happen.
Right.
But I've been living this vision. I wrote it down years ago, and it's not pretty now either. It's ups and downs.
Of course.
The way the economy's now.
Yeah.
If I'm not digging every day and grinding,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down.
Right. You still have to put in double time, overtime every day.
So many hours. And like, for example, last year I do bodybuilding shows,
Okay.
and that requires a lot of your mind and time,
Yeah,
everything, and you have no energy.
for sure.
I did a few shows and I kind of stepped back from the business a little bit
Mm-hmm.
so it could kind of run itself with my team, my trainers.
Mm-hmm.
it went okay, but then it just crashed.
Right. Because you're the main center point of it.
Right.
And the clientele comes for,
yeah.
you know, as well as your training.
Right, right. But I'm the one that puts that real love to it.
For sure.
At least the main person.
Right.
So now I'm like, damn it, I'm back to like, now I have to dig in again and take care of my business. Lesson learned is like, regardless of my goals that I have apart from my business,
yeah, I
can not take care of that.
Right.
Because that pays for my flights for my shows. Yeah. That pays for my tanning, I have a coach, I have a trainer too. That pays for all of it. So I need to take care of this. Right. This is number one.
Yeah.
So.
And I resonate with that so much you know, just to hop on what you're saying, like with the show, with what I do, and these are two different parallel worlds. We're doing opposite things, you know, and we're opposite people, but I take checks from my day job, work a full-time day job for the last, 3 years since I've started this, from my room to a studio, to another studio, to another studio, to 3 different teams, and then coming here to season 3 and carrying it on. I wanted to give up so many times. And there were so many times where I'm like, I'm working so hard for this money, and then I'm just taking it, and I'm just not seeing any of that in my bank account because I'm putting it back. But at the end of the day, when you love something so much, when you care about it and you invest your whole life, your purpose and your time, and you know it can make a difference, it is worth it at the end of the day. Whether you do lose everything, you take that risk or not, I do believe that things are meant to be. And there is this universal power, like when you talk about the vision board, right? And you writing something down and having it come from an idea on a piece of paper to a fruition of you actually owning a business. And when people tell you to stop or give up, and you're like, how could I give up when I can literally manifest my dreams and my destiny? You know, so I just, again, want to give you a huge shout out for even continuing, because it's not easy. It's not. And I think, on the outside, like looking in, your Instagram's so successful, you're so successful, you're doing all these things, there's a lot of money coming into the business from an outside eye. But when you really break it down, and like people looking in who are trying to start their own businesses from the ground up, they don't see that, it's those days when you think you're going to fail, and when you're at that cusp that really pushes you to be at your best point of self. Yeah. You got to
push through that in order to keep growing.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just tell myself, another day, another day, another day, another day.
Yeah.
Another week. Next week will be better. But I don't just say it. I go to work. And if I need to cut sleep, I'll cut sleep.
You can't just talk about it. You got to be doing the actions.
Exactly.
Words only get you so far, but words don't get you to owning something physically, if you're just all talk. So.
And you got to give up something to get that dream. Like, my 20s, I didn't give up my 20s, but I can't tell you I party all through my 20s or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Because I put the work in. I did for a little bit, and then I was like, it's not going to get me to where I want to get. So my 20s, I gave it out, a lot of it. I cut my circle completely.
Yeah.
Good people too, but it's just that we're not in my same path.
Yeah.
Just cut them off. And it could be a solo world when you get into it so deep.
Yeah.
But then if it's what really makes you happy, then why not?
And thank you for bringing that up, because that is true. At the end of the day, sometimes it feels like you're alone, and it is very solitary when you get to that point where you have to make those decisions. Is this healthy for me? Am I running in a healthy circle of people? Mm-hmm. Are they aligned with the mission I'm aligned with? Because when you're really mission driven and you're an entrepreneur and you're goal driven and you're staying on task, just because you have someone who's been your best friend for so many years, or even a family member, people who are your blood, they sometimes can't understand what you're even doing until they see you reaching a pinnacle of success. But the whole time it will be like, you're crazy, what do you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm sure
get some sleep.
Yeah, and I want to bring it back to also you being a first generation. Like, did you feel like there was kind of like ever doubt or pressure or questioning from your family to live up to an expectation of like what you were supposed to be doing here? Or do you feel like they were supportive of?
They were very supportive always. And my parents brought me up in a way where it's like, you have to be big. Mm. It's almost they expected this.
Yes.
Thank God I have great parents,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Shout out your parents.
For real. So yeah, so they brought me up in a way where it's like, I didn't bring you here to be a nobody.
Right.
They helped me through college, like, you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So a big part of my success is my family, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think that mentality, because when they put that mindset into you, like, not everybody has parents who give them that mindset, but
Exactly.
when you do have somebody who instills
Exactly.
that, you can build off that on your own.
And what's funny is that none of them are risk takers. None of them do business or nothing like that, but they expect that out of me.
They knew you had it for you, though.
Exactly.
And I do, just want to backtrack to a lot of the things you touch on resonate with different points in my life and people and things, and specifically my brother. And I just want to bring up when you talked about your injury and this vision that you had, and then having to come back from that. And there's two parallels that you guys have. When my brother, he was also planning to go, full-time, like into professional sports, also playing baseball.
Oh, nice.
And in the outfield during one play, it was his senior year of high school. He had him and the other person in the outfield, they were going for the same ball.
Mm-hmm.
He said he got it. It was just a miscommunication.
It happens.
They ran into each other. He literally has like bolts in his shoulder. He has bolts in his knee. He had to get like all these different surgeries, multiple surgeries throughout, his life pretty much. But the funny aspect is the parallel. He didn't know what to do after that. And it kind of put him into like a negative mindset. And he had to deal with like a lot of mental health, resetting yourself, relearning, unlearning, when you have a vision and then it gets taken away from you in an instant. Like if you're in a car accident or et cetera, these moments that happen in time where nobody could predict it. You know what I mean? Nobody knew that was coming. And then you just have to pick yourself up and figure something else out and keep going.
It's tough.
And he actually leaned into bodybuilding as well.
What?
Yeah. And
I need to meet this guy.
Yeah, no. And actually, after that, he doesn't do bodybuilding anymore because of the shoulder injury, and he did labor work after. So he's now having to take some time off of because of that. But that parallel of the thought, the mindset of the motivation, the dedication, like you said, and then in putting it back into yourself.
Exactly.
And when you, and I think about the bodybuilding aspect, it's like when you have an injury like that, and I feel like it almost takes away, I don't know, just like almost a power of like, I don't want to say masculinity because I can't speak from a man's perspective, but I feel like at that point of time when you really have these life future goals set for yourself and that gets taken away, like makes you want to withdraw. And sometimes like you feel bigger by physically bigging yourself up. You know what I mean? And so I'm just wondering for your own like confidence in your mental health and sense of self, when you went through the injury and then when you went into bodybuilding, did you deal with any like negative thoughts, mental health aspects at all? And did the bodybuilding kind of help with any like confidence stuff, et cetera, et cetera?
So at first I couldn't watch a baseball game. I was like, I'm not even watching this.
Wow.
I didn't want to watch it.
You're like, fuck that. Like I can't do
I
it.
play a little summer ball and I quit halfway. Like, you know what? I'm done.
That's real though. That's like emotional trauma.
Yeah, a little bit, but I knew it wasn't for me. Like the love just left. Because somehow the world put me into this building muscle thing. Yeah. Like the gym was my place to like therapy place. I don't want to be bothered. Mm-hmm. So I just fell in love with that. And maybe I just grasped from that and I used that to forget about the other. Right. But now I'm searching I want to be a professional bodybuilder. Okay. So I've been close and now I'm back on that searching, right? Trying to get there. And I've been very close. So we're going to do that run again this year. Hey. But I feel like it helped me. It's weird because when you're an athlete, I'm so used to discipline. I'm so used to waking up early, going to bed late, doing the extra work. I needed to find that rush. Right. And I could only find it in a bodybuilding stage. Wow. Okay. That rush that I get when I'm competing is the same rush that I used to have when I played baseball. Ooh. So
That's a really cool dynamic.
But it didn't hit me hard because I found something quick.
Right.
If I never found that, probably would have hit me more.
Yeah. And I think that's I think it's a big thing and it's a reoccurring thing that's not talked about enough, but there are just a lot of youth athletes who go through personal injury, and I feel like it's just not spoken out, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that it does affect like a lot of young men and
Of
women
course.
when you just have that dream, and then like I said, it can go
And
away
everybody
in a
around you
moment.
expects you to make it somewhere.
The expectation, the
Expectations,
pressure.
the pressure,
Yeah.
you put so much time.
Yeah.
And this is not days, this is years.
Right.
You're a kid, but you're in a field, not in a pool with other kids.
For sure.
You know, so
Yeah.
much time to then just crash and not get anywhere.
Right.
It could make an impact, and it could be negative.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also think about, you know, what you keep talking about like discipline, right? And I feel like that discipline mindset of you being an athlete and you having that regimented lifestyle, did you feel like it was kind of an up for you, or like it helped you when you transitioned into being an entrepreneur? Because being an athlete and focusing on yourself and training people is very different than when you go in and you're signing for these grants and you're putting, you know, loans on the table and you're literally in rooms with people like talking business and talking about things that maybe you didn't get formal education on, maybe financial literacy, that portion of it, like, you know, that wasn't your focus because you were
Right.
focused athletically.
Right.
Like for you, just within everything you went through, how was that transition for you from, you know, athletic mindset to like business entrepreneurship?
It wasn't easy, but being able to work for the YMCA and being that director, you kind of learn to understand there's got to be a budget. We got to hit this number. So you learn business.
Yeah.
And I went to school for that. So I got prepared.
Okay.
And I had a lot of mentorship around me, great people around me that helped me. I asked questions like, hey, I still bother Sean, like, bro.
Right.
So I had help with that. And I put that whole discipline that I did through college and through baseball into business. What happened was that I got so focused on my clients that I stopped taking care of myself.
Wow.
So then I'm here, a trainer with a gun. Like, bro, what are you doing? So then I chose to start doing shows in order to keep myself in check. Like, all right, I'm taking care of all these people. I'm making them healthier, being in better shape and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I need to be the example to follow. You know, I think it's a little hypocrite if I tell you to do something and I'm not about it.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm the person that I preach what I do.
Right.
So then I found a coach, I found a trainer, hired people that are better, that I look up to, and I slowly climb like that.
Wow.
Where now I cannot be without one of them.
Right.
Because I need to have somebody to check on me. Because I'm already doing so much.
And it's so important to say that. And like also, you know, I think people could look at JAS Nutri-Fit and be like, wow, Jonathan's done all this himself. You know what I mean? And this is just him and he's a solo person. It's like, no, you have teams of people in different layers behind you. Like you said, you have your trainers, then you have your business coaches, your personal trainers, all these people who kind of, like I said earlier, it takes a village.
Yes. By no means have I done anything solo.
Right, exactly. And I think it's just a preconceived notion that people have of entrepreneurs, like you have to do it all yourself and you can't, you know, rely on a team. How important is it for you to invest into your team and to invest into the people who invest in you?
It's so important. It's very important because let's say I have 20 sessions in a day. Imagine me doing the whole entire 20 sessions.
You will literally be dead. Like burning out.
Even though I go off sometimes and I force it,
yeah.
but I got people that help me.
Right.
And it's just hard to do it alone. And you need people that are at a higher level in order to learn from them and maybe not make a mistake that you would do alone. So I still need, my personal goal is to find more people, surround my circle with people that I look up to more, because I do have some, but just more. But you're not going to do it alone. You're going to crash and it's not going to be fun. You're going to get irritated and you can only get so far alone. right?
Yeah.
Imagine you have, like if I have a studio small, then I could run it. Imagine having a gym with memberships and this and that.
Like you can't be at the front desk
No,
and training
you
and
need
checking on
people.
people and then cleaning this up and yeah, it
Like
takes
cleaning up, what?
right.
Game over. No.
Yeah. But aside from that, I know we talked about kind of the transitions from, you know, the few businesses from when you started off to where you're actually at now. So right now you're in an 11,000 foot squared
Yes.
space.
Yes, but half of
Huge.
it is a baseball facility
A baseball facility.
from my tenants.
Okay, got you. So can you give the people listening in just a rundown of your current gym, where they can find it and what you offer
Yeah,
there?
we have 541 Chestnut Street in Lynn, Mass.
Okay.
We do personal training, small group training, a bigger group training, more like a style boot camp. I also do customized meal plan regarding whatever goals you have.
Mm-hmm.
Have a ton of experience. We have a ton of transformations just to show proof of what we've done,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
We also have a supplement store. It's still there
Okay.
where we sell vitamins.
In the
protein,
same location?
In the same location.
Got you.
In the second half is a baseball facility.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a parent and your kid plays sports and your kid can be there, you can be with me.
Okay.
You know, it's
Yeah.
a one-stop shop. And we are working on a juice bar now that should be ready midsummer.
Wow.
Cafeteria juice bar.
Doing big things over there.
It's a lot of sacrifice.
So you guys are kind of planning to stay at this location now for a while. You feel like you're a little settled
I mean,
here?
I bought it. I might as well stay there.
You better not give that lease up in a few years. Oh, man. And so, you know, kind of a two-part question, but the first part I have about the baseball aspect of it, and you're saying, like, you know, your kids can be able to come. So do you guys do youth programs? And do you feel like, I mean, so I feel like there's a lot of preconceived notions about Lynn, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
People always look down in it
Yeah.
in a negative way.
Yeah.
And I am here, and I know you are here to change the trajectory of what the community of Lynn looks
100%.
like and what we're putting into that community. Last night I was hosting a community open mic at Land of a Thousand Hills on Monroe Street in Lynn.
Yeah. I used to live in front of that.
Exactly. So like, you know, the only way to make change and to make moves is to be a mover and shaker and be inside of those movements, be in the city, you know, put yourself in that location. Do you have a certain attachment to Lynn? Is there a reason why you have kept your gym in the community? Or aside from that, like with the baseball and youth, are you like giving back to the community in some type of way through JAS Nutri-Fit?
So I love Lynn. I grew up in Lynn.
Let's go!
And I rarely understand Lynn community.
Mm.
It's hard to understand Lynn if you're not from Lynn.
Yeah.
I don't know
And it's
why.
easy to judge Lynn.
It's so
if
easy
you're
to
not
judge
from
it, but
Lynn.
we got so many great things happening.
Yes,
So many
we
great
do.
things
So
happening.
many great things.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just Lynner. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm proud of it to say wherever I go.
I know my operations advisor is smiling in there, but he says I'm a bona fide Lynner. And I told him, I'm like, so if you go to California, you're going to say you're like from Bossy. He's like, no, I'm saying I'm from Lynn, Mass. Yes, I know he's
Exactly.
laughing. You got to rep where you're from.
Yeah. And with the baseball thing, they're my tenants. So they run their programs. They have a lot of youth things. They have a nonprofit as well.
Oh.
So they're doing things for the community. We're working on a nonprofit too.
Okay.
There's some kids, athletes that can't afford training.
Yeah.
You know, you can only help them so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a business. We still got bills.
Yeah.
So I'm working hard on a nonprofit. We are. The whole team is.
That's huge.
In order to provide free training for those kids.
Wow.
But a nonprofit takes time. So we are not waiting this small right now.
Yeah, it does take a lot of time and effort, but like just from who you are and everything you've gone through, I just feel like you're already giving back so much that nonprofit would be right on track with what you're already...
because I was a kid like them that couldn't afford that.
Exactly.
So I completely understand.
Right.
Me telling my dad I need this money for, be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have it back then.
Right.
So I want to be able to help them with that.
And you know, that's amazing. And thank you for even, you know, putting your mind and your thought and your energy into that, because there's so many youth that don't have the opportunity just based on their environment, the place that they were born into, did not have a choice to be, but they're so talented and have all of these visions as well, you
Right.
know, like me and you, but, you know, just don't have somebody to give them that step that they need.
Exactly.
So
because having a trainer, this and that at a young age, it makes a difference.
It does.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
But not everyone can afford it.
Right.
That's where the issue comes in.
Yeah.
And a lot of our communities happen to be a lot of Latinos in Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. We just need help.
Right. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with putting that on the table and being able to help each other through, you know, those hard times to get a more open environment for everybody. You know what I mean? And this goes from art to education to even food, because I'm thinking about, right, we're talking about nutrition. We're talking about your wellness, your mental health, caring about your body, self-love, self-motivation. But the one thing that we leave out of that is finances, you know,
Right.
because if you go and you want to buy a meal at McDonald's, you can buy it for cheaper than if you wanted to go buy vegetables and fruit in a salad at the grocery store. So in a way, there's also this economic, you know, system in place where they don't want, you know, people of a lower class to be able to have access
Right.
to these things. And we have to be able to bridge that gap.
That's a reality.
It's a reality.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know, to play off the nutrients and the nutrition and the healthy eating, and you said you guys do fixed meal plans
Yes.
and everything like that. And I know you also said, like, that's how you started with the supplements and with giving yourself more, you know, protein, balance, nutrients, whatever it is, to get your body to the point that it needs to be.
Exactly.
What does your, you know, eating routine kind of look like right now, or your health nutrient routine? Do you ever struggle with that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So right now I'm 13 weeks out from a show.
Wow.
So this
You're at your prime right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the prime just started.
Okay.
So I can't have a cheat meal unless my coach tells me that I can have one.
Mm.
I spent like 7 weeks nothing.
Yeah.
I have a partner, a girlfriend. Imagine that. It's hard to
balance.
I can't.
Because you don't want to
It's
take
weird
that
to
away
go
from
out
them.
me with my plate. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I love food. I grew up eating, so I'm tempted too. Like, if you go to my house, you open every cabinet. There's nothing that I cannot eat.
Right.
Because I'll touch it. It's temptation.
Mm-hmm.
So my meal plan, personal meal plan, consists of morning eggs and oatmeal. Everything's measured. Greens. Then I have a second meal, rice, chicken, avocado. Third meal, rice, chicken, asparagus.
Is this every
It's
day,
so weird.
repetitive?
Yeah,
Okay.
every day.
So you're on a repetition, like, yeah.
It's almost like you're a dog. You eat the same time, same thing every single day.
How about when you're not training, though? Are you still conscious of?
I try to be a little more flexible and be a human, but your mind just plays. Like, I'm like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
I do go off. Like, I can go off a lot, but I know how to get back.
Right.
It's what I do for a living. I know how to get back right away. But I love food. I mean,
Right.
if I'm not in a show mode, then I could be a little more flexible.
Yeah.
But I never go off. I still want to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say flexible, it's almost like I'll go to a steakhouse and have a baked potato and like a steak, maybe dessert.
Right.
So I'm not eating fat McDonald's or none of that.
Yeah.
I'm still Jonathan, and I do what I preach. Like, I'm very on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be an example for people and for myself. I want to feel proud of myself.
Right.
So if I'm cheating, then I'm cheating myself.
Ooh. That's such a great line, though. And for real, like, in any form, in any way in life, if you're cheating and you know it in your mind, like, you're only cheating yourself out of your own success, your own happiness.
Exactly.
And anybody, like, who is trying to work on, you know, their weight loss or whatever, like, I try to look at it as, if you can just cut out one thing, you know, even just to start off, like, if you're just doing one healthier thing for yourself every day, and you just keep, you know,
you're winning.
Yeah, you're already making a win for yourself. Like, don't give up just because it seems like when you start, it's so hard because you're looking at this big picture.
Because you see veggies and chicken. And what I tell people, the obvious, just start cutting it.
Yeah.
So if you're having 3 sodas, have 1.
Right.
Like, just slowly go from 1 to 2 to 3. And then I can do a customized meal plan.
Yeah.
Where it's like, now you're ready for this.
Right.
But you got to cut the obvious. And you don't have to cut it right away.
Mm-hmm.
It could be one step at a time.
Yeah.
If you go out to eat 3 times a week, then maybe go twice.
Yeah.
Then the following week, go once. Then go back 3. Then go back. It's a slow process.
Right. And
It's almost like a lifestyle. You got to make it into a lifestyle.
For sure, it is a lifestyle, and the lifestyle of what you're living plays into how you're actually moving in your life, how you're thinking about, you know, your dreams, yourself, your future. Because if I'm just eating shit every day, like, I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to feel sluggish, lazy.
Exactly.
Or if they come to the gym and they're trying to start training with you, but they're going home and eating shit and coming back,
You're wasting your
you
money.
could get you're wasting your money. You could get an injury.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally be doing damage to yourself just by not considering that one notion.
100%.
So if people need some advice, they can come see you or check out some of
100%.
your supplements.
They could hit me out to DM. I'll give my phone number here. I don't care. Or they could come see me and we can have a short consultation. And just it's a slow and steady process.
Definitely.
It's not just like I'm not a fan of giving you a diet here. Do it. You know, we do a consult where we measure your entire body and everything. We know what you need, calorie wise and whatnot. I even ask people, is there something you absolutely will not eat? Because I'm not going to put it.
Right.
And then I'll ask them, what do you like to eat?
Yeah.
So we'll make something sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Because dieting or eating healthy doesn't have to be boring.
Exactly.
I'm doing something else where it has to be more of a discipline aspect. But you can be in great shape and still enjoy what you eat.
Yeah.
I'm still going out. It's just making the right choices. You can drink, just don't have those crazy cocktails.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like there's some moderations that you need to do.
Yeah.
But it's not boring like people think. It's not. It is harder. Everything to improve yourself is hard, but it's worth it once because you're gonna feel better, and it's not as hard as people think.
Right.
The main thing is to take that first step. If you feel no support, then hire a trainer. If you feel like you need help, YouTube. You can YouTube anything.
Exactly.
And just start going.
I say YouTube University. Anyone can go there for free.
I've learned so much from there. It's crazy.
So much.
Yeah.
Exactly. And thank you for sharing that. I think nutrition and just talking about wellness and also realizing like and acknowledging you can make those steps, but you're not a robot. You know, you have cheat days. You have some days where when you're not training.
I messed up too.
You mess up. You have to fail to succeed. And like throughout your whole story when we started the show and you're talking about, you know, these lows and these lulls and these downtimes that like push you to these highs and to change your mindset and to change your physical body or also your business, they were all just failures to succeed, you know, struggling to success.
I would have never been here without them.
No.
There's no way.
And you know what I've been trying to like say this more to myself, but failures aren't failures. They're only opportunities to learn. You know, every time you think you're failing, you're not. You're just
sometimes
learning.
It's almost like failure, you're in the right direction.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's hard to look at it when you're on that spot. When you hit that low, it's almost like.
For sure.
But it's literally you're in the right direction. Because if you're not failing, you're not trying.
Yes. And you know, I kind of just want to touch upon, I think a big part of business, and me, you know, outside of the podcast and what I do, I, you know, do marketing communications and stuff like that. And in today's world, day and age, you know, we're very involved in social media and media in general and using that for how we promote ourselves, our businesses, just everything in life.
Yeah.
And you obviously have a good social media tactic I've seen a lot of gym videos that you put up. Some of them are funny, some of them are informational, some of them are educational, some of them are just...
We could do more.
Yeah,
we could do more.
But they're really creative, I feel. And I'm
really organic. I'm not here to follow, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever comes out.
Well, that's what I was wondering. So in your mind, how do you look at and how do you use as a gym owner and an entrepreneur social media for your business?
It really helps. It really helps. I mean, when you put a before and after, when you put a transformation, that looks realistic, right? Because you can make shit look funny and fake.
Right.
Realistic transformations, like this person lost 10 pounds, not 100 pounds, 10 pounds. Then people don't feel intimidated.
Yeah.
So we try to do transformations I try to put stories of what we have, and what I try to showcase is the cultural differences, white, black, Hispanic, Asian,
Mhm.
just so we can show you we are welcoming you.
Yeah.
If you notice in our gym, we have flags of a lot of countries.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you step in the gym, it's almost like, oh, that's my flag.
Right.
So you're welcome. You know,
Yeah.
you feel like, okay, now I'm home. It's a good first step.
Definitely.
But social media helps. Me putting myself out there, showing my abs whenever I have to do it.
Show him the abs. He's
I
not
don't
gonna lie.
have So social media is big, but I think the number one is word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
If I do my job the right way with you,
Yeah.
you're gonna transfer that to somebody else, and we're gonna create a chain. And slowly, you're gonna bring me 3 other people because the friend you recommended me another friend.
For sure.
Next thing you know, it just keeps going.
Yeah. In good business, you know what I
Right.
mean? Because to get word of mouth, you have to be, you know, not only promoting it on social media. If somebody sees, oh yeah, they're doing all this great stuff, but then they go to your gym and you're unengaging and you're not giving them the time of day, it really is based on the energy
Exactly.
that you put out, you know.
I think energy is so important.
Do you?
Yeah. Whenever I'm in the gym, I could be exhausted. I put that face like, let's go, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And I start yelling like crazy.
Right.
People like it.
Because if you come into a class to teach a class and you're like, all right, guys, let's go today, and you're like all low air, even if you had a bad day, sometimes you got to put those personal moments
If I do a
aside.
horrible day and I can't fake it, then I'll just stay home.
Yeah.
I make some cancellations. I can't do it today. I'm sorry.
Right.
But that never happens. I run on caffeine the whole day.
Okay.
Because if I have a 6 a.m. client like today,
yeah.
Good morning, right? I can't be like,
right.
And it's not cheap either, so I have to be able to not only do a good service, but give them my best.
Exactly.
I'm lucky you're choose me, us, to train you. Now I have to do my job. We have to do our job.
Yeah. And the only way to give other people your best is to literally give yourself the best. Like, you need to love yourself and care about yourself just as much as your partner cares about you or your mom cares about you or whatever it is, you know? But you really do have to have that same energy for who you are on the days where, like we said earlier, when people are telling you no or somebody doesn't believe in you or you're just having a down day, it's like, nah, I know I can get through this because I'm, you know, I am that person. I am that one. Bigging yourself up and giving off that confidence so that other people can feel that confidence as well.
100%.
And be able to be them, you know?
If you carry yourself with confidence and, again, you're in shape and you look to part and they catch me eating the right thing always, it's almost like, damn, when does this dude take a break? You know, but it's almost like, I need that. I wanna do that.
Yeah.
I wanna carry myself with confidence. And that took years. Like building confidence take working on yourself before you can express it out.
So from like, again, the outside looking in, like I feel like on the outside you seem like a very confident man. Obviously, you know, you're very well built. You're like very into health. So that could seem to other people who are looking at you like, wow, Jonathan's got it all going on. When you talk about building your confidence, was there times that you struggled with not feeling confident within yourself?
Of course.
Could you give us maybe an example?
When you first open that business, like, shit, this is gonna happen. What am I doing?
Yeah.
When you don't know that the city gives you taxes, when you don't have the money to pay that rent, it's like a low. Like, what the heck?
Right.
I used to borrow money to pay rent.
Right.
Like, I'll find any way to get through it. Another day, another month. But those moments can hit you and make you low for a little bit. You got to find a way to pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
And when you do it so many times, it's almost like, dude, I'll just get through it.
Yeah.
I'll find a way.
Right.
But even to today, there's tough times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you see yourself here and then next month it goes a little lower. Like, what the heck happened?
And do you feel like sometimes you still have to reset or give yourself that like personal motivation where you're like, you got this?
It's nonstop because I take a lot of risk. That's the problem because I could be comfortable, but now I want to open a juice bar. So it's almost like I took a loan. That loan I got to pay it monthly on top of what I already paid.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I got it. Dude, let's go.
Right. And I look at it too, like if you're an entrepreneur, if you're somebody who's trying to grow yourself, right? If you're comfortable, you're not growing. You know what I mean? You're at a style. You're still
I have a problem with being comfortable.
right. Being comfortable kind
It's
of
almost
it
not
makes me
good.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Right.
Because then I'm like, all right, I'm not reaching my purpose. And it's like, I tell people, and it sounds very dramatic sometimes, but I'm like, I'm either going to give my all to this purpose or I'm going to die. And I don't mean to say it like that, but literally,
It's
like
facts.
my soul, my inner self, my motivation will die because if I'm not giving it to what my vision is, which is, you know, creating a world where anybody has the opportunity to speak out about mental health issues, struggling to success, starting an entrepreneurship, mixing media and mental health. These are all things like you're mixing mental health and working out and making your life better and making your life better and being able to start a business because your life is better and everything that
Right.
can traject from that,
Yeah.
you know, and it really takes, you have to sacrifice yourself to make the dreams come true. And at the end of the day, that's all we can give is what we have.
You living on purpose.
Exactly.
That's your purpose.
100%. And I believe we all have a purpose here. And I do just want to get into like a few more things before we wrap it up. And I appreciate your time, Jonathan.
No problem.
And you've
Thank
been
you for
so
hosting.
insightful, for real. But along with the social media, there's this, you know, kind of thing that I've been hearing in the interwebs and just in general about since things have started, and there's influencers. And I don't know if you consider yourself a gym influencer or if you just consider yourself an entrepreneur who uses social media to promote your gym. But this conversation about like toxic gym culture and influencers promoting themselves in a way that's unrealistic on social media, then makes people feel, oh, I want to be that, I want to reach that, but I can't, I physically can't get there, for young men and for young women. But I think, you know, for young men and women growing up right now who we didn't grow up with a phone in our hands.
Mm-hmm.
These are now 8-year-olds growing up with a phone in their hands, and they could see gym influencers who they can never reach that trajectory. And then it could, in return, I feel like add some negative, you know, body image conflict or body dysmorphia, eating disorders, whatever it may be. Just in your, you know, in your world, kind of how do you feel about that toxic gym culture thing going on, and where do you feel like you lie within that?
It's toxic because everyone has a different genetics. Not everyone can be Hulk, right? It takes time, and they make it look so easy. Instead of, I think, explaining how they got there, what are the steps to do it, or maybe do like a free course to get to where they are.
Yeah,
I think the parents have to be on top of their kids too,
for sure.
because it's a tough topic. Because some are good, some influencers are great, some are horrible.
Right.
You know, they talk about the wrong subjects to kids. You know, our kids shouldn't even know what protein is.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to eat first before you think of
Right.
anything. The way I see myself, I try to empower people in a positive way.
Right.
You know, and I don't make false promises. Like, you can be this person. My main thing is, let's make the best that you can be.
Right.
Let's make you the best Unixa or Jana, whatever. That's what I can promise. But when they show me a picture of, you think I could look like this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, this first thing, like, honestly, I don't know. 1, you're not her. 2, you don't have her genetics.
Yeah.
3, she's 20, you're 30. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
How about we think about you being your best?
Yeah.
So it's something that I don't know if it could be fixed,
Yeah.
but it is important to bring it up and to tell kids, you know, just be your best.
Right. And I think also, like, if you are an influencer, you're using social media in that form as like a gym influencer, sometimes showing the realism of it. Like you said, like, we'll show a 10-pound difference, not a 100-pound
Right.
difference. You know,
They get
or like,
intimidated.
yeah, or like talking about, yeah, these are my days I eat healthy, and then, you know,
This is my bad days. I
cheat
fucked
day.
up. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Like that balance of, I'm just a person as well. I'm not this robot on the internet that everything is perfect and I never miss a gym day and I never. So I think that toxic gym culture that they've been talking about is something that it depends on the person and it depends on how you're using the platform.
Exactly.
And I feel like you guys use it in a very positive way. So
We try to be positive, 100%.
Yeah, I just want to
both on my personal and my gym.
Definitely.
Make it realistic.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people be like, yo, how can I look like you? I just tell them you need to go 10 years back. You need to do everything I did and maybe you could get there.
Yes.
Just because I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yes, we can help you get to your best for sure.
Right.
Because I'll make sure I do everything in my power so you can be better.
Yeah.
And if I'm not taking you to that next level, then I'll find somebody for you.
Right. Yes.
And I have.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you know, it's like you said, each person's an individual and it depends on who you are and where you came from and the point that you're starting at. And it really is like individualized plans, whether it's eating, working out, but each person has their own way of being healthy. And I think at the end of the day, when we talk about like body image and working out and being in a gym or whatever, you're doing it to be healthy. You know what I mean? You're doing it to live longer. You're doing it to make the best out of your life, to have energy, to feel good. Yeah. So if you're doing it, just anyone listening in, any youth or anyone who's trying to get in shape and you're doing it for the wrong reasons, like it's going to be a lot more difficult than if you're focusing on just making yourself better.
You're not going to be happy.
Yeah. And I think
if you're trying to impress somebody else, you're not going to be happy.
Right. Like, self-comparison, like even in competitions, right?
There's a lot of that. I do that sometimes.
Right. You can get caught up in like, oh, that guy looks way more jacked than me, or he must have done this and I should have done my legs more, like whatever it is, right? Yeah. Right? Especially in bodybuilding.
It happens.
And you have to kind of have that talk with yourself, like it's not about competition, it's about competing against who you were yesterday, who you were a year ago.
I always try to bring my best in anything.
You try to what?
Bring my best in anything.
100%.
Just be your best. I might get mad if I don't win because I'm a true competitor at heart.
Yeah.
But I know if I get my best, I have no regrets.
For sure.
If I didn't do it, then I'll fucking be hard on myself.
And, you know, Jonathan, as we're about to be kind of wrapping up, I just want to know for any of our audience listening in who, whether they're trying to get into the fitness game, whether they're just going through an entrepreneurship, you know, lifestyle or movement where they're trying to get to a point where you're at, or they're trying to start their own business. Do you have any advice for anybody listening in of how to keep going, or if something gets hard, like how to just stay focused?
What I would say for people trying to have businesses or trying to become better themselves physically, just take that first step, one step at a time, and you got to be able to take risks. For example, if you're a person that don't like to be in a gym setting because you feel intimidated or you're not confident, at some point you have to take that risk and go and just get involved. Slowly you'll get comfortable. Same with business. If you don't take that risk of a dream business, it's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. So you got to take it. And if you fail, you can always do it again. It's not like we can't, right? Let's say you do go to that gym and you're really not comfortable, then look for another gym. Right. So, but success lies on the side that we fear, right? Think about that.
Wow, success lies on the side that we fear.
I truly.
That you gotta like copyright that. That is such a good quote. Put that on the wall of your gym. But for real, that's 100% what it is. And the more you know that you fear that, and the more that you don't go towards it, the further you get away from your success.
100%.
Right, and just like you and all the ups and downs and the struggles you went through, you bulldozed through those to get to that point. Even when you didn't feel like you could, you need to get yourself into that, you know, disciplined focus where it's tunnel vision, you know, it's straight to the top, baby, or it's nothing, you know. And
it's not going to be easy.
And it's not going to be easy.
I'm going through it right now. I'm going to keep pushing.
Yes, exactly.
That's it, period.
And thank you for saying that, because even at your successful point right now, you know, there's still days where you can struggle. And when we reach that pinnacle of what we think success is, there's always going to be something higher than that. So anybody who's like climbing up that, you know, ladder to your entrepreneurship or your dreams or whatever, whether it's art or, you know, singing or rapping or cooking or gym or podcast, whatever it is, there are steps to it. And the first step is always the hardest, just like Jonathan said. And as soon as you take that first step, you can continue that trajectory, but you can never give up on yourself. And you're just a perfect example of an entrepreneur, somebody who literally started from the ground up, literally struggled through physical injury, your own, mental, emotional, people putting you down, telling you no, going through the transitions back to back to back to be here. And this isn't the top for you. No. I see so much more coming.
We got more coming.
We got more coming.
Yeah, we got more.
Make sure y'all stay tuned for that. I do have just one more question for you that I ask all my guests that come on my show. Obviously within the realm of self-belief, within purpose, within who you are and the struggles and, tribulations you went through to continue to be who you are. What do you feel like it means to be an old soul in a young world, or just to have like a soul purpose? What does that mean to you within your journey?
That's a tough question.
I know.
Say it again. Repeat it.
What does it mean to you to be an old soul in a young world, or just to have a soul purpose? What does it mean to you?
It means everything. Your purpose is everything. So I think you are living if you are following your purpose. So you're funny.
For real.
So if you can be making a ton of money, but if it's not your purpose and you know it at heart, you're not going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think follow your purpose. I think we all know our purpose at some point.
Yes.
Maybe late 30s, 20s, I don't know, 40s. But once you find it, follow that, because I think that's what true happiness is. People look at my life, this is as real as it gets, and they tell me, yo, you have no life. Like this, and I'm like, the problem is what I do, the no life, what you call no life, is my purpose, and I'm happy. So, you get what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying.
Like the no life is what's making me happy. And this is from clients too. They give me advice, I give them advice. You got to talk through sessions.
Yeah.
But you hear it and I'm like, this dude doesn't know what he's saying.
Right.
I'm not here to argue, I'm here to make you healthier.
Yeah, for real.
But the no life for me, what people call, I work every single day. There's not a day off. On Sundays, I don't do physical work, but I do admin work.
No days off. Sorry, I love
Payroll, all this shit. So the no life.
Yeah.
But I'm fulfilling my purpose. I'm living. I'm happy.
And what I hear from that is that you literally mixed your purpose with your life. Right. When people say you have no life, it's because your purpose is your life.
I'm fine.
Right.
I'm fine.
You're combining it. And like, I feel that and I resonate with it so much. Like, people don't know. I've had people come on the show. Oh, this is your full-time job. This is what you do. No, I literally work a job 5 days a week. Then I'm recording on the weekends. Last night I'm doing an open mic. Then we have something next week. Like, it's constant. When you want your purpose to really be interconnected with your life, you have to combine them into one universe, into this pocket, that
this
you make your own. That makes you happy.
Yes.
Right. And beyond this, because like you said, where you're at and where I'm at, like, this is just a jumping point. And there's so much more to come from everywhere we're at right now. So if you think you're at your end all be all, you're not. If you think you're, at your pinnacle of success, there is more to come. Thank you for saying that. And just one more thing off of that. Obviously, we're talking about physical. We're talking about the physical body, physical health. We talk about this thing called the soul, right? And you hear it in movies and you hear it in songs and music and all this stuff. And like, do you feel like you have a soul?
I do. I do. Of course. I feel like that's the internal talk that we have with ourselves every day.
Damn, Jonathan, you're killing it. Killing it with the responses. I know I caught you off guard with these.
You gotta have that I call it that silent moment where I believe in God, where I talk to him. Yes. And I talk to myself. Like, whenever I'm deep in prep from my show and I'm just going crazy and I'm irritated, Sometimes I turn the light off, I put my hoodie and I just sit there. And I just talk to myself.
Right.
That's my soul. I need that time for me. I don't want no one, not even my dogs around. It's just me and that's it.
Yes.
So I think we all have one.
I do. And thank you for saying that. And I think you just worded it perfectly. And this brings us to a perfect end of everything that we talked about, but an internal conversation. You know, we can speak so much externally. We can show so much externally, physically on the outside. But really, you know, what's kept you motivated through all those times? When you got injured, to when you had the space, to when one space failed and you started another.
Self-talk.
It was that self-internal communication. Yeah. And you're the only one, anybody listening in, you're the only one who can have that self-talk, who can give yourself that mental readjustment. You know, we go to the doctors to get checked. We go to the chiropractors to get readjusted. What about your mind? What about your soul? What about your spirit? And if those aren't aligned, how does the business become aligned? So all of these things that we're talking about with, you know, JAS Nutri-Fit from where he started, you know, to now, it takes that internal conversation, but soul commitment to your purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Jonathan, again for coming on. And I'll just give you the floor one more time to let people know where they can find you, where they can connect with you, social medias, Instagram, whatever you want to put out there.
So 541 Chestnut Street, Lynn, Mass. We're open weekdays, 7 a.m., 6 a.m.
I was going to say, I heard you say 6 a.m.
It depends because we have private classes and all that. So we're willing to open 6 a.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Okay.
Weekdays, we do a half day, 6 a.m. to like 1 p.m. Instagram, JAS Nutri-Fit, JASNUTRI-FIT. And you can DM me questions and we'll help you. We'll be happy to help.
Word.
So we can call you, whatever. And go check the gym out. You'll like it. It's a private space. It's not a local gym. We are focused on people that want to see a change.
Yes.
We're not there to be on Instagram or hit a machine and be on the phone. You're there, I'm smoking you the whole time. So we got goals, right? So if you really need help and if you really want to make a change, we can help for real.
Word. Thank you so much, Jonathan,
No
for
problem.
being here. Thank you for your time. Again, guys, shout out JAS Nutri-Fit.
Thank you.
Make sure you check them out on all platforms or go visit them at their location on Chestnut Street in Lynn. But this was such an inspiring conversation today, and anybody who has, you know, heard what we talked about and feels it in their soul and feels it in their purpose, I need you guys to know this is possible. What we're talking about, this internal conversation, making yourself a better person, using who you are to help other people be better people in the communities, in life, for themselves. That's what we're here to project, and you can do the same. As soon as you start realizing what your purpose is, you can use that to help others realize their purpose. That's what we're about on Old Soul Young World. That's what JAS Nutri-Fit is about, you finding your best self. So make sure you guys check him out, check out the business, check out the location, the gym, the supplements, and everything in between, because it's coming from an entrepreneur with a great heart, a great mind, a great soul, and somebody who's giving back to the community. And make sure you guys tune in with me next week for another motivational guest on Old Soul Young World with your host, Jessie Ellie.